let me ask you this. This deal seems to me more about avoiding an election than really changing employment insurance, partly because having self-employed people join was part of the Conservative platform in the last election. And nothing is going to happen to employment insurance over the summer because there's going to be a working group looking at it. So it was more about avoiding an election on a confidence vote Friday than it was about changing EI in the immediate future.
Well, I think there's substantially more to it than that, Don. If you remember, on the business of self-employment mentioned in the Conservative platform, that was only the extension of paternity and maternity benefits. It was not the full meal deal, if you will. And what the working group will be studying is far more extensive than just the extension of those benefits. That's important in itself, but it will be the full inclusion of self-employed people in the EI system. And more importantly, we now have the concession by the government that there is regional unfairness in the way the present EI eligibility rules are structured, and that they are prepared to work to fix that. Up until yesterday, there was a complete denial on the part of the government that there was any difficulty, any problem with that situation. So there's a serious bit of work here that has to be done with respect to employment insurance, and I think both parties will approach that in good faith. Certainly we will, and it's certainly more than window dressing. Plus, on the procedural side, we have the accountability process that we've established for the spring session of Parliament, now continuing through the fall with additional accountability reports by the government, especially on the deficit, how they're going to deal with that, and infrastructure spending, whether it's actually getting invested with shovels in the ground and jobs created beyond mere announcements. And the important thing, the accountability report will be followed immediately by not one but a series of confidence motions evenly spread through the fall, so the government can be held to account.
But isn't that really a catch-22 for you in this sense, that every time you face a confidence vote, as you were going to on Friday, and you don't want to bring the government down because either you think it's the wrong time for you because of the public opinion polls, the number of possible confidence votes is a catch-22 for the Liberal Party when they want to avoid them.
Well, Don, it is all about accountability and making the parliamentary process work. And there are those occasions when you come to the line in the sand. You have to either cross the Rubicon or not. That's what being involved in the political process is all about, and you accept the consequences of that. But you have to have a system which allows for those votes to be taken. And without this change in the rules that we've successfully negotiated, all of those confidence tests could have occurred in a quite irrelevant way in the latter part of November or December, where the choice is vote the government down and have an election over Christmas. And that's not very realistic. So now we have a realistic accountability system. And yes, it involves responsibility on both sides.
We have had an election over Christmas before, Ralph. I'm sure you remember that one.
Yes,
but anyway, I don't want to labor that point, and I'm less than a minute. But water in the wine time on national eligibility standard. Sounds to me there may be one, but it will be a lot more than 360 hours. Would that be the compromise you think of this?
Let's see what the working group comes up with. We've maintained there is a problem. The government was saying no, there wasn't a problem. Now there's a concession that there is an issue here to be dealt with, and we've got a group that's going to come up with practical ideas to deal with it. And quite frankly, that's another thing that we'll be looking for when the reports come in September. Has that problem been effectively addressed? That too could trigger an issue around accountability and confidence issues if it's not satisfactory.
Ralph Goodale, thanks for your time now. Good to talk to you.